meeting to order at 6:31, Tuesday, August 19th. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg.
Here.
Trustee Zazzaro.
Here.
Trustee Katsas.
Here.
Trustee Moreland.
Here.
Trustee McLaurin.
Here.
Mayor Ah. And Mayor Pro Tem Hartz.
Here. Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any conflicts of interest on the board?
No.
Nope.
No.
And any general public input not related to any agenda items?
I'm here because I need some help.
Excuse me, could you give your name and your address for the record, please?
Sure, my name is Donna Bailey. I live at 621 Louisiana Drive. And as I said, I'm here, I need some help. The back of my house, behind my fence is the oil well. And there is about, I'm bad with distances, say 50 feet of either easement or some property that somebody owns. And it has been taken over by gophers. And now the gophers like my shed, under my shed. And any day now I'm kind of anticipating that it's going to be sideways when I come home. I have spent probably about $400, my husband and I, with cement and fencing to put down and bury and stakes and all that kind of stuff to try to move them in another direction, and we have not been successful. I got a couple of estimates, one from the Animus Wildlife Solutions, and another one from Orkin, but the Orkin guy did not give me any kind of like a sheet of paper with an estimate on there. But anyway, we've tried several things. We've tried using our propane tanks and putting gas under there, and now we're trying some peppermint oil. Don't know if that's going to work, but even so, that's just a kind of a deterrent, hopefully, and to buy me some time to come tonight and ask for assistance. The whole area back there is pretty much covered in the gopher mounds, as you say. And I'm not asking anyone to pay for the damage or the keeping the gophers out of my property, but I'm just looking for help for what can be done for that piece of property that the only place I know that is the owners I looked up on the maps was the Delta road development, and my friend and neighbor said that that's no longer the person who owns that. But anyway, and he did say they had one gopher show up, but they have dogs in their yard. And so I don't know of any other neighbors that have had issues. Most of them do have barking animals along there, but I'm asking for help of how to find out, or if someone can find out who owns that, ask them if they can, help. I'd be glad to pay a portion of even that property out there, just to, because of all of the damage that they've done under my shed. So, thank you for listening, and I don't know what to do next, so I'm open to suggestions. So, thanks.
Siri. I live in Bayfield, and I signed in with my address when I came in. What I want to address is the meeting 2 weeks ago, when the auditor mentioned that we have 22 months in reserve in our water base rate, I guess the cost to deliver it all. And so that, in addition to the fact that as of February, our rates were raised by $3.59. It used to be $35.92, and it went up to $39.51. And I'm just asking that the town reverse that and get back down to a lower rate, since we clearly have enough. It must have just been an error in the budget from last year. And so I'd like that reversed, and if possible, reverse the 6 months that we've been charged at $3.59, and just put it in the newsletter that this is why we're reversing it, or there was just an error in the budget, and just to give the town folks a feeling that y'all care about us, and you're not trying to gouge us or anything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lucy Stewart, Bayfield, Colorado. And we have an issue also with the gophers from the commons where they put all those buildings in, so it chased everything down to that field behind the church. And we have had big issues with them. And so when you water, you have to push rocks and stuff to try to stop them. And I mean, I don't know whose responsibility it is, but we, as long as I've lived there, we have never had issues with the gophers. But now, every time you irrigate, you have to have rocks to push down in there. So I don't know if it's a town issue or a church issue where I live, but they're getting a little out of hand. Thank you.
I'm back. Hey! Phyllis Ludwig, 9205 County Road 521. I have a feeling these are not gophers or prairie dogs. And as you know, we have ranches. My son has killed 327 so far. The only way he's ever eradicated them is by shooting them, which you can't do in the town. But they do have regular poison for them at co-op. And you can also have gopher, or the traps for prairie dogs. And there's also a gas that you can put in their hole. And they're a problem. But these people moved into a town that is rural. You're going to have that problem. And our neighbors to the south do not do anything to try to control them from coming up this direction. And that's why they're so prevalent in Bayfield. So there are things you can do, but I hate to say it's not going to get all of them. Thank you.
Good evening, Brad Blake with Pine River Commons. I would just start off my comments by echoing what Mrs. Ludwig said. There's a difference between gophers and prairie dogs. Gophers are really good for the environment, and fields, prairie dogs are not. And right now, the biggest infestation of prairie dogs is on the highway frontage. So I will reach out to CDOT myself on that. But the Pine River Commons has had no prairie dogs, and the property before we purchased it didn't have many prairie dogs. They were just up by the ditch banks. And so a lot of them are on state highway right of way. So the difference between prairie dogs and gophers is pretty significant. I just wanted to give a quick update on Pine River Commons since I was here last. We have closed on another unit, and things are moving along. Sales aren't as brisk as we would like. They've definitely slowed some, but we are getting ready to finish our third building, and we're doing a major cleanup there. You'll see things starting to kind of move away from some of the building sites that will be coming up that we've used. So there will be a major cleanup. and it's a significantly different year than last year. Last year, we had 2 rainstorms of 2 inches each and 1 rainstorm of 3 inches. And I have pictures of the amount of water that we were inundated with. And I know that you all know that as a town, but right now we'd take just a little bit of rain, or maybe a lot of rain, it would be good. But if we would love to invite you over if you would like to see the project. I know some of the trustees have stopped by to see the project, and we appreciate that. And we have a lot of great new homeowners there, and actually a lot of showings lately. Things are definitely picking up. So thank you all very much, and that's the update that I have.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Next on the agenda is to approve the agenda. Looking for a motion.
Mayor Pro Tem Hartz, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg.
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
Trustee Katzos.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin.
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem Hartz.
Yes. Discussion items, memorial statue at Joe Stevenson Park.
So, Mandy and I have been in contact, and the reason I wanted her and talk to her about coming tonight is I think there was really 2 different factions the last time we talked about this. There was one for renaming of the park, but there's also one for a memorial statute. So I kind of wanted to get that a little more cut clear. I did send you guys some background and exhibit on the naming of the park, but did not find anything about memorials. So I invited her here to talk about that tonight.
Hi there, I'm Mandy Roderick. I'm a good friend of the Goldmans, and so I kind of started this project without realizing that somebody else was working on the fields. So we actually spoke over the phone right before she presented, I think. So not to add any more confusion, but yeah, they are 2 separate things. But I'm in favor of either and or both. So this was, my project will take quite a bit of fundraising, and it'll take probably about a year to complete. So we have some time, but I didn't want to start on a GoFundMe or anything, or start on even commissioning it, because it is so expensive. So I wanted to make sure I had all my ducks in a row before I started that. So I was just going to read you did they read the letter last time?
Yes.
They did.
So I don't need to do any of that? Okay. I'm sorry. And I do still have the estimate from the statue company, if anybody needs any of that, but I just came to kind of clarify that. So if you have any questions, let me know. Is that all you needed?
I have a question. We were going to look up the ordinance, right? And what did we land on?
So I sent that to you guys probably 3 or 4 days after I don't know, it was 2 or 3 meetings ago.
I don't think I got it.
Okay, I can
Yeah,
resend that
sorry.
out to you, but basically what it was saying is it just dealt with naming of town facilities and parks and things of that nature, and there was several rules and that needed to fall in those categories. But if I'm not mistaken, it also had a caveat in there that the board could change that as well. But it just specifically went to naming of facilities, not erecting like the memorial benches we have or statues and things of that nature.
And if that's not okay, like, we are open to other things or placement of it. I'm not hard and fast on any of this. It was just, I wanted to do something to keep him alive.
I personally feel, first of all, I understand. I have a niece who's dealing with brain cancer, and I understand the hardship and the challenge of it. I am concerned because I don't know that we could do this for every great kid. I think having some sort of memorial I don't see that as a major issue, but I think to go outside of what has been done in the past concerns me, because then it'll set a new precedent. And so I'm open to, memorializing him. I just don't think we should go as far as a statue to do that. Maybe a park bench, again, or something along that line. But I'm just concerned that once we go down that path, we could have a park full of statues. Sadly, but we could,
don't want that.
and I don't mean that in any terrible way, but so I'm just a little concerned about that.
Well, and a good resolution too, if that is the case, is if they do agree to do the ball fields, we could do like a plaque up there somewhere. That would be agreeable as well.
Yeah,
Something.
yeah.
There actually has been some dedicated benches, park benches, where they put the plaque on the park bench in the town in the past. So I know it's something that they've done, and I don't think that would be far out of, but I kind of agree with the whole statue, because
Yeah.
not that I wouldn't want a statue there, but I love the idea of a plaque on the wall of where the sign is, and maybe a picture of him engraved into it would be
Sure.
cool.
This
Something
thing
like that
company
would
does
be,
those.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that one, actually, because you have permission from the descendants of Joe Stevens Park, that's almost easier on some level to have us approve and done.
But we're totally open to anything that you would be okay with.
Yeah.
Like I said before, which you weren't here, I think we're all open to doing whatever we can within our limits of our rules that we have. So, we don't want to see him not be
Yeah.
honored.
And that's why I think at the meeting, we said that we wanted to do a little research to see if there needed to be a resolution, because we couldn't vote on anything that night. So it was like, what can we do? So I think if you're still looking at what are some of the options, if we can also come back with what we think the best option would be based on those rules. Because, I'm looking at right now when we do rename things, but I'm not quite sure. I love the idea of a plaque somewhere on the ball fields. It was made abundantly clear that that is where a lot of the kids in the town really remember and know and will honor Ozzy's memory. So I want to do something there. I understand something on a bench, but I kind of feel like he was more connected to, the ball fields, and this is is where the kids are going to remember him. Whereas I've seen things on benches too, in memoriam. So
Yeah.
I think, do we need to kind of just come up with what some of those ideas would be and then
I think we
present?
did.
Okay, so
I
that's
think
it? Okay.
What we just suggested
Okay.
are the good ideas.
Well,
that
and I can
Okay.
get pricing, is it something that would go on to the actual fencing?
Yeah,
Just
that,
so I can kind of get pricing on my end.
yeah, that's what I'm not sure where this would
Yeah.
go.
Mark, is there any place that she could put signage up that you are aware of that would be?
I would say either the sports complex or the fencing. I can discuss that with DJ and see if there's any issues with, the plan of the game. I can't foresee anything other than obstructing, the view of the public, but if there's a lot of area to see. So, yeah, I think that would be fantastic. Or if you want to put it on the sports complex there, in between the two fields, probably would be maybe a little more secure structure.
Yeah.
to put it
Is
on.
that like the metal built like where the snack bar is?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
so it's
Just on
a
the back.
concrete block that.
Yeah, that might work.
So
That was part of the proposal for the renaming faction as well, as they were going to rename just the ball fields and do the plaque on the concession stand. And as far as the actual ball field fence goes, the only plans we really have for that is we're looking into possibly getting windscreens for them. And then our sponsor banners will go behind them, but there's plenty of room.
Did, I think, is the other gal Charlotte?
Charlene?
Thank you. Did she already have a plaque built into her proposal? Is that something I should?
No, it was just something that was thrown out as part of the dedication of the field and put it on the concession stand.
I think it on something solid would be.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah.
I agree.
I like that a lot better.
Yeah.
It'll last longer.
Yeah.
It'll last
Yeah.
longer and you can make it nicer.
Bigger too, nicer.
Bigger.
What kind of dimensions should I shoot for?
If you want, we can look at it and, just measure out the wall size and get back to you with that.
shape, weird. You wouldn't want to put it right, where the concession is.
Right.
But hopefully on that east side of the wall is probably where I would put it. But
Okay.
I can look at that tomorrow and you guys can communicate that to her.
Also, would that fall underneath our signage, sizing and that sort of thing? So we may have those
Good
rules
point.
that we have to
Yeah,
follow.
Check with the building department and
Yeah.
see. I have no idea on that one, but I can definitely look into that for you.
Well, and I think we should have a little futuristic view of it too. What if there's another great kid that comes along and they would like to do the same thing, so.
This is the descendants of Joe
No,
Stevenson's
I
park
know.
that said that they were willing to do this.
I'm not talking about renaming the park.
Okay, well, that's what
Yeah.
the plaque is about.
But it's also to honor him, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's for Joe Stevenson's
Right, no, I
park
understand
naming.
that. But I'm just saying
I
that
think
if
they're two
another,
separate issues.
well, of course, but if another kid comes along and they've seen that plaque and they would like to do something, I'm just saying the size of it should be considered in case there's additional things that might happen along that line.
Yeah, that's completely understandable, and I think we'd take it as a case by case deal.
Yes,
If
yeah.
people want to, whether we can, give that, option to them. If we run out of space, we run out of space. But,
Mhm.
yeah, we could definitely consider that as well.
I'm confused. Are we talking about a plaque that renames the park?
Yes,
Mhm.
Just the ball fields, not the.
Just the ball
Mhm.
fields?
yeah.
And
thought we were
serves
just
as
talking
kind of a
about a plaque
dedication to
that
Audie,
honored
right?
him.
Right,
So it kind of does
right.
both of ours.
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
So I sent each of you pursuant to Trustee Katzos' inquiry, Resolution 318, which was adopted in 2014, concerning renaming of public property and how that should be taken care of. And the board at that time adopted a policy. So you all should have it and should review it.
Yep, great, thank you, Michael.
bet.
Yep, that's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you.
Eagle Park closures.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem Hartz, Board of Trustees. See, I'm just asking for a brief closure at Eagle Park. We need to do some maintenance that's going to require spraying a clear coat on the log structure and the eagle statues that are both made out of wood. We want to preserve those. I don't want to get it on people's vehicles or people playing in the park, so we'd like to temporarily close that entrance and put up some caution tape and keep the public back from the area that we're doing the work in. I forecast probably 4 hours of work to do that. I'm going to ask for a day just to be on the safe side.
Yeah,
And I think just a general thumbs up would be sufficient.
I think it's an excellent idea.
I'm good with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know we had some issues in the past where some cars did, so I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
we're not putting the town in a liability situation.
Do we know what the rental situation is right now for the park?
We don't have any rentals scheduled that I'm aware of unless some that have popped up recently. But
Okay.
with this transition that we've done to Office 365, our calendar
Yeah.
situation is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I copied all the park rental calendars for the rest of the year,
Okay.
but there is none scheduled for tomorrow or the rest of the week. But with your approval, we'd just get to start on it tomorrow.
What I also wanted to ask then, are people using the park and not renting it? Because I would hate it if someone was planning a birthday party at the park
Right. No.
and then all of a sudden it's closed
Yeah,
because.
no, we're not gonna do that. There's no park rentals. this
No. Are people just showing up and
Right,
using
and-
it?
You know, if
Okay.
that happens, then that would be unfortunate, but
Yeah.
I could direct them to, across
Okay.
the street or somewhere else to do that. So
How long will this take?
I'm guessing about a half a day.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna use an airless sprayer, so
Okay.
it'll go on very quickly. But it hasn't been done since,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even know before I was here, so. And you can tell that it needs it, so.
Do you think that, I don't know if you wanted to do this tomorrow, but I'm just wondering if we put up signage saying that this will be taking place on this day next week, so that we've at least given notice, so we're not ruining someone's birthday. Sorry, that's all I'm thinking is someone showing up without knowing they needed to make a reservation. But if the signs were there, at least we gave proper notice.
I don't think that I would want to purchase signs, but we can definitely put it on social media.
Okay.
And just, let the public
Okay.
know
Yeah.
if that's,
Okay. Again, it's just for the people who were planning
Right.
to be there that
Yeah.
they just,
With school started,
You think we're good?
highly doubt.
Okay.
that it would be, but it's completely up to you. If you want to put it out on social media first, we could definitely do that. And try it, next week or the end of this week.
I would love that,
Okay.
just because I would hate to get the
Right. Yeah.
the backlash of,
No, yeah. I
we were
definitely
planning to
don't
be,
wanna
like, and
really-
definitely not like on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, clearly, but,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do
Okay.
that. We'll put it on social media and do it next week.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thanks.
listening to that.
Thank you.
Has everybody had a chance to look over the minutes? And I'm looking for a motion for approval.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I would make a motion to approve the minutes of August 5th, 2025.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg,
Yes.
Trustee Zazzaro,
Yes.
Trustee Katsas,
Yes.
Trustee Moreland,
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Harts.
Yes. Review of July 2025 financial statements and sales tax. Has everyone had a chance to look at those?
Yes.
Looking for a motion.
I just have a couple questions. Go ahead, you go first.
First, I wanted to address, I believe Trustee McLaurin asked me 2 weeks ago what the loans were that we have to Colorado Water Resources and Power Development Authority. And I wanted to let you know that we do have 3 loans there that we make payments twice a year on. The first loan is, the original amount of that loan was $4,780,000. That loan will retire August 1st of 2028, and that was for the construction of the new, of what was the new wastewater treatment plant. The second loan, that loan was in the amount of $600,000. That loan will retire November 1st of 2033. That was for a sewer slip lining project in the business park?
Business park rerouting, they added new sewer lines, and then we lined a bunch of sewer lines in 2014 that run underneath Joe Stevenson Park in the ball field, so it was a rehab project.
And the third loan is, the amount of that loan was $860,695. That loan will retire in February of 2036, and that was for the water line replacement, when we replaced 10,000 linear feet of concrete water line throughout town. So that's what those 3 loans are for.
Was that after the report we got about the stormwater, where it said that so many of the drainage pipes were too small?
That was before.
That was before. That loan was initiated in 2020, so that was before that.
Before. Okay.
Okay.
But we still have pipes that need to be replaced because they're not the right diameter? Is
That's
that,
for our stormwater drainage.
Yeah.
oh, just for stormwater,
This
okay.
is for water main replacement and services.
Uh-huh.
So that loan, we took out in 2021, I believe, so it was during COVID.
Yeah.
So in the water master plan, the largest identified deficiency that we had was asbestos reinforced concrete water lines.
Oh, geez.
So at that point in time, it was decided that we would go out, take out a loan, and just replace all of it. So we did about a $1.8 million project. The $800,000 is the loan that was assessed. The town's match was $1 million, and we basically abandoned all of our asbestos reinforced concrete pipe with C900. So that's all brand-new water mains, services, and all that other stuff as well, too. So we don't have to worry about that antiquated and potentially hazardous material any longer.
Yeah.
So that's what that was for.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you.
I just have a couple questions. I always like to email these to you, but I was gone last week and
That's okay.
and then just work pressures. So I apologize.
That's okay.
General fund, miscellaneous revenue.
Yes.
Miscellaneous revenue. Can you tell me what that $93,000 is in there?
Yes, that is the dollars that we received from the insurance company when the town hall flooded.
That's what I thought. I
Yes.
thought I had it in my notes, but
Yeah.
I
That
wasn't
money-
clear.
Yeah,
So,
that money
okay.
needed to be deposited into a revenue account, so it went
Got
into
it.
miscellaneous revenue. It was expended out of the building maintenance in the same fund, in general fund.
Okay.
So you'll notice that the building maintenance fund is over what we budgeted, but it's
Yeah.
because of the water leak.
Okay. Thank you.
Of
And
course.
I know you told me that, but when I was looking this over, I'm like, I can't remember what that was. And I was
Not a
looking through
problem.
my notes, so I apologize.
Not a problem.
The general fund expenses.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to wrap my head around what it has cost the taxpayers through this staff attrition that has gone on. And I was looking at personnel relations. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, if that personnel relations is for paying KRW. It seemed like it fell in line with that amount.
Is that?
That's,
Well,
that's
well,
on general fund, town
check's been
hall
cut,
operations,
So it
yeah.
does show on my financials. The check's been cut. It's just sitting on my desk.
So,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, that does include the payment to KRW that
Okay.
has, it's gone through the accounts payable system, but it has not been made.
Got it, okay. And then, so we've got a couple different consulting services here. We've got a legal consulting, and we also have the land use consulting, and then also the other consulting services. So I think the legal consulting is clearly Michael, yeah?
Yes.
Is it? Or is it the water attorney?
That's the water attorney.
Water attorneys, okay.
Yeah, we have a specific water council in Denver that we refer to quite often. So
Okay.
when you see legal consulting, that's generally them.
That's them, okay.
And I'm just your mere town attorney.
Okay, great.
Your other consulting services is your interim town managers.
Okay, okay, got it. All right. Great. Okay, that answers those questions. And then lastly, and this might be a better question for Jeremy, unless you want to speak to it. Under the sewer fund, sewer operations, programs, what are the programs?
Yeah, that's.
I
sludge
was
removal.
wondering, thank you. That clarifies that for me. Okay. Ick. Okay, thank you.
Of course.
That's good.
All right, great, thank you.
And what are, I have just a quick question. What are charges for services for the senior center?
Let's see. Dustin, what is charges for services in your senior center?
In revenue or?
I'm looking. Where do you see it?
You know,
Laura?
I don't have the page number, and I don't have it printed out.
And it's under senior center operations?
I thought it was.
In the-
I remember seeing, I know what you're talking about, Laura, but I think that
Charges.
is, yeah,
The charges for services in the general fund is credit card fees.
Credit card
I
fees?
believe so, yes.
Okay. And I was just curious about compensated absences. It's $21,851. What is that?
I don't know, where are you looking?
See,
You'll have to tell me where you're looking.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I can talk to you about it later if you
Okay.
want to. That's all right.
Yeah,
That's all right. I'm trying to, I was reading it on my phone, which is
Okay.
kind of hard. Okay? It's kind of like this big.
Yeah,
So, and I made my notes, but I didn't put the page number. I'll
That's
talk
okay.
to you about it later. Let's
You
not
call
take
me,
up this meeting.
and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
In charges for services, when it comes in through the front counter, can be multiple things. It can be going to counter services for notaries. It can be facility rentals. It can be youth athletics, parade entries for 4th of July, also going to charges for services, things of that nature, which feed the general fund.
39 at the bottom, but then it's page 27 of the other one, of your actual document. Under liabilities and equity.
I think I know what it is, but I think it is what we are obligated to for like PTO. Right,
Suggestion is to research that.
okay. Okay. Laura, I believe I know your answer, but before I misspeak, I'm going to research it, and then I will contact you and give you a correct answer.
Okay, yeah.
And
we
bring
don't
it
need
to the,
take up the
okay?
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe that's what it is, but I'll find out.
Any other discussion, questions? Looking for a motion?
Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the financial statements and sales tax from July 2025.
And I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg,
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro,
Yes.
Trustee Katsas,
Yes.
Trustee Moreland,
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Hartz.
Yes. Chief of Police report.
Yes, good evening, Honorable Mayor Pro Tem and the board. July was a very busy month for us, if you can't see. Some of the highlights that I want to go over is that we did receive a grant from Pueblo Community College to help assist with Officer Morse attendance, but when she got there, we got socked with a $3,000 bill for housing. So I went in front of the Southwest Regional Training Board to apply for a scholarship, and it was granted today to cover the remaining $3,000. And so we're basically going to have her going through the academy free. The next one I'm going to go down to is the fraud case involving the town's bank account. I worked with Kathy on this from the beginning. Only one check out of what, about 50? Was actually cashed. And this happened in Erlanger, Kentucky. I've been working with their police department, Detective Taylor. She's identified a suspect. She's in the process of receiving some search warrant data that had to go through their court systems. I had to use them because I can't go to Kentucky and do an investigation. So she's leading it and doing everything for us, but they do have the suspect identified, and they're working on bringing her in to question her reference to a bigger scheme of things. Because we have 50 checks going all over the country from, Phoenix to Louisiana to Cincinnati and across. And so we do have one suspect identified. Hopefully we can get some resolve in that. The next one is the data breach that occurred on July 21st. I got in some data from iSolve the other day from the assistance of Marie. I sent 2 search warrants to the court today to get approved so we can possibly identify the person that did it. It's going to take several weeks to get the stuff back from Charter Communications and the bank that was involved. After that, if you have any questions or anything like that, let me know. If you wouldn't mind, if I can go over a quick story, if you don't mind. About 2 weeks ago, my wife and I went to the La Plata County Fair. It was really neat. It's the first time we've ever been there. And we bumped into the leader of the Super Shooters 4-H Club, And we saw so many of the Bayfield kids there that had won awards. And if you don't mind, would you mind if I read a list of their names? And if I miss somebody, I apologize. And if I missay your name, I apologize as well. But it was Payson and Briley Sutherland, Cannon and Gavin Jensen, Cruz and Cozell Gonzalez, Sarah Eden, Caitlin Witt, Alden and Eliza Nyberg, Amelia Zabka, Josh Kirk, Vivian Morrison, Arabella and Colt Black, Ashton and Madeline Speaker. Not me. Emma and Charlie Westbrook, Ava Jones, Jude Lumen, Aiden and Daphne Burgall, Gracie Piccoli, Tabitha Cillian, and Tobias Powers. I believe all of them won some kind of award at the level there, and then several of them went on to state. And so the ones that went to state were on the archery team, and that was Payson and Briley Sutherland, Cannon and Gavin Jensen, Caitlin Witt, and Alden Nyberg. And what happened when they got to state, and I think it was in Pueblo, Colorado, is that Payson Sutherland won state championship. Cruz Gonzalez got 6, Briley Sutherland 7, and Cannon Jensen 8th place. And then in the limited teammates, Sarah Eden and Jackson Foose also helped. And then I never heard of this one, the recurve archery. Okay, I'm from Alabama. That's not part of our thing, right? Okay, so Gavin Jensen placed 10th individually, and the team, Gavin Jensen, Abby Durrett, and Alden Nyberg, took 4th place overall. So I just wanted to read that name. I thought it was pretty neat and interesting that we had so many students in our area be successful.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah. And they shoot the gophers.
Prairie dogs.
Yeah.
Unofficially or officially? So I think the town was very well represented, both at the county and at state. So.
Yep. So I do have a question, but I don't think you can answer it. I'm just curious. Do you have any idea how this person was able to get a hold of the checking account?
In my experience of dealing with these, a person at a bank or a person that received a check, what they can do is copy it on it and then send off at a check making place and ask for, because some of the checks aren't even numbers that we have issued yet.
Yeah.
They haven't come to us as issued. So they're way beyond our number, and then some of them were reissued numbers. I won't say who they went to.
And you actually don't have to send it off to a check company anymore, because there's software that you can have on your computer if you're a small business owner, and you can print your own checks. You can go to Office Depot and buy check paper. So it's super easy to do that kind of fraud, unfortunately.
You can get the watermarks on them, you can get, and
the
the
good news
signatures
is
were
the bank
perfect.
covered us,
Wow.
though. Even
Wow.
though they cashed it, the bank covered us, right?
Yes, they do.
They did. Only the one check cashed, and they did cover us.
So in those kind of cases, the bank becomes the victim, but since we're
That's
the
correct.
initiating party, we took the initiative of taking the investigation, contacting Kentucky, and getting the ball rolling to help the bank fraud.
Well, good. I'm glad you guys are on it, and the same thing. It was a busy month for you.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I need a vacation.
Well, Chief, thank you for all the work in July, and thank you for finding all of those students in Bayfield, because I know that probably took a lot of time.
It
And
took my wife one email.
so someone already had this information. All we had to do was ask. All right, well, never mind.
Well, then thanks,
Yeah.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have any questions reference to my monthly, please ask. I mean, we were busy, all of us.
No questions.
Public Works, Jeremy, you're up.
Mayor Pro Tem, Trustees. We did put together a report for you guys for the month of July. Locates are down a little bit, which is fine with me. It wasn't super busy. We're seeing an uptick anymore too. Most of the one-call tickets that are coming in are for service drops. So communication company, Clear Networks is putting in a lot of new services. So each one of those individually will require us to go out and mark utilities. The water system, all our annual maintenance is done. We got the ATS panels in the boxes for the generator replacement are at the water plant. We should be getting generators in later this month, and the drawings are finalized, so those will be going out to bid in the next couple weeks. So hopefully we can get those installed by the end of the year. In the sewer system, we're still waiting for our SCADA computer to come back. We ran into some licensing issues with the programming, which of course we have to upgrade before we can load the new program. So that's taken a little bit longer, but we're able to operate off the touch screen and some of the automation. We also have a slip lining project that's coming out. Last year we deployed 35 flow meters throughout town, and we've identified a few locations that we'd like to line, hopefully cut down some of the I&I we're getting in the wastewater treatment facility. Stormwater, still been working with the Los Pinos Ditch Company and in regards to a crossing permit for Mustang Crossing. Other than that, we really haven't had any storms, so I wish I could talk more about stormwater. We're going to be talking about drought management later.
Right. Right.
For the most part, not a whole lot of equipment maintenance, so it was a little bit slow. And O'Reilly's Auto Parts on schedule to open the end of this month, so they should have shelf stock, so that's exciting. And other than that, I've answered any questions that you guys might have.
No?
I had some questions about the report that's in our notes about the water with the ditch companies and not being in compliance with what they wanted. It goes back to 2004 agreements we had. What's the scoop on that?
Yeah, so we're right now in negotiation with the Los Pinos Ditch Company for the Cinnamon Heights housing development. The letter in regards to the cease and desist that was attached to the letter, the most recent one we had, there's a pipe placement that's in operation right now. The northernmost detention pond is to it would be the west of it. We have correspondence from the ditch company. We were honoring and fenced their prescriptive easement off. The actual easement was never vacated and abandoned. So we were technically operating in their easement. But those conversations are in progress right now. So they do have a good point. But what happened in 2004 when the original Phase 1 plat was recorded, the developer never switched the easement to the actual location 15 feet of center for the pipeline. They left the original ditch where the open swale ditch was, the easement where the detention pond currently resides. So we've had those discussions and talked through it with the ditch company, but currently they do not have an easement where their ditch is running and their pipe placement is prescriptive. So we're having conversations and hopefully we can get that stuff cleaned up or sorted out.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
It wasn't an issue till they started building.
Yep. Yeah. I think the letter sounded worse than the actual situation is.
It's a
Yeah.
very well put together attorney letter.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it sounded
Well,
pretty
after
good.
talking with
Goldie
Jeremy
was privy
today.
to this as well too, so we've been brief. But yeah, honestly, for the construction activities, it did sound very stern, but that wasn't the intent. We thought that we were honoring the easement for the pipe operation, and to be quite honest, the ditch company was in agreement as well that we should stay 15 feet from center of the pipeline, and so it was kind of a surprise to everybody that if we would knew that was the easement, we wouldn't have dug it.
Yeah.
You know, so it was an honest mistake, and hopefully something that can be corrected relatively easily.
So, Jeremy, right now, the pipe isn't in any sort of easement? What does that mean for the location of the pipe?
The location of the pipe in Phase 1, the easement isn't necessarily recorded. I guess you could make a case that it might be a prescriptive easement. I would defer to.
That's correct. And
attorney about
these are
that.
things we're going to have discussions on, and we'll
Okay.
report back to you
Okay.
later. It's a tough situation whereby I don't know that we want to let any cats out of the bag
Sure.
before we actually have our meeting.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for providing the letter. No further questions from me.
You sound like you've been in court before.
End of report.
Yeah.
All right, good evening. All right, we started the middle of July with a staff barbecue to kind of see Scott off. It was wonderful that Public Works put it all together. I've planned a lot of stuff this year, so it was great to have Jeremy and his crew pretty much do all the planning, the buying, and even cooking all the meat. So thank you to Public Works. Yes. I am probably the most favorite staff member this month. I have assigned all staff training for CIRSA as well as cybersecurity. So this will be for just your basic, sexual harassment, violence training, bag safety, and then training that pertains to their department as well. So I think Public Works has 15 hours, which is a lot. I think Parks has 8 hours, and then admin has about 7 hours of training. So that is out for them. We met with CBT, and we mentioned that insurance rates are going up. Officially, they're going up 13.5%. So I'll have to meet with Town Manager Waters to figure out a division of that, of what that looks like for 2026. DJ was approached by a college student for an internship, so it looks like we're able to cover that for this fall. He had 3 high school staff that went to college, so we kind of needed to fill some hours for those staff, so we're going to cover that with the intern. As you know, we have 2 open positions. The Community Development Director position, which we are going to turn into a town planner position, and then a utility clerk position. So we've already posted for the utility clerk position and should do interviews next week. And then Thursday, I'm gone tomorrow for a training, but Thursday I'm going to post for the town planner. And have some admin things, just coming up with a marketing plan for staff and new hire checklist to make sure I cover all of the things for new staff. Any questions?
I have a question for
Sure.
you. So with the 13.5% increase in health insurance rates, can we talk to the fire department? Can we talk to the school district to see if there's any way we can join forces? Because if we're seeing this, it's maybe they're seeing this, and I know that the more people you have in the plan, sometimes the better your rates can be. So I'm just wondering if we can see what they do for health insurance and see if it would be at all advantageous for us to do something together
Yeah.
versus we have how many employees?
We are in a small group pool.
Yeah.
So I forget how many are in our small pool. This was our first year. I can look into it, but we're kind of committed to 1 more year. There's a penalty, but after that point, then we can look some more. And they also have the person who I've met with. He has his not own insurance, but we can check rates with him too to see if staying with CEBT is good for the town or if there's other better options.
Okay. Because I feel like every year rates are going up, and I'm like, I feel like if there's like a proactive approach, and I know I mentioned this before you were even here, before we had HR. I know I mentioned it to Katie several years in a row. How do we join forces with other employers in Bayfield to see if there is an option to have better health insurance rates? Right. So that's just my recommendation. Otherwise, I think we're going to be seeing this every single year, and I'm just wondering if there's a better way to have better rates, and there could even be better plans for our people.
Sure.
But again, that would just involve seeing what the others are doing and how can we work with them on it.
Can I also mention too, is like if the people who are taking advantage of the health insurance don't have a lot of claims or things that happen, then there shouldn't be such an increase year over year over year. Are we looking at that piece of it? Because I think we should look to see, have we had lots of usage and
I believe in the
that?
past we had,
So if
the past couple
we have,
years.
but we didn't this year, then maybe we can negotiate with them for a lesser percentage. And that would be something I would look into as well.
Okay. All right. Just one other note. I know some of you have had email issues. Did you get yours fixed?
Today, but I still can't get it on my phone.
I'm still having some trouble, but that's okay. I'll figure it out.
Well, I can hook you up with Uriah if needed. We've all kind of had these issues, so. But let us know how we can help you.
Moving on to the action agenda, IPA's liquor license renewal.
Yeah, so a standard liquor license renewal. EPA's, it's time for them. I did reach out to Chief Hogue to see if there was any negative input, and there was none.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to approve IPA's liquor license renewal.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg?
Yes.
Trustee Zazzaro?
Yes?
Trustee Katzos?
Yes.
Trustee Moreland?
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin?
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem Hartz.
Yes. KRW contract.
If I may, Mayor Pro Tem, pursuant to the direction of this board, we negotiated a settlement agreement with KRW. KRW was the headhunter that was retained last November. And this is a settlement agreement to pay KRW 20% less than what was originally agreed to, $20,000. And if you've had an opportunity to review the agreement, you'll notice that there's not only a non-disparagement clause, but a clause that suggests not a lot of discussion about this unless there's some sort of KORA request, because we are a municipality and we have obligations to make these things public and so forth. But again, this is the agreement with KRW to pay a certain amount that is some amount less than what was originally agreed to, and that puts this matter to rest.
I have just one question. Does this also hold them to not talking about it?
Correct. It's a mutually
That's what I
agreed
made
non-disparagement clause.
Perfect.
Okay.
And I did address some issues with their attorney about CML discussions and so forth. And they were adamant that they did not perpetuate any of that discussion or initiate it.
Okay.
It's best I can tell you.
Yeah. You didn't get him on a lie detector test.
Go that far. You know, in the grand scheme of things, this wasn't a huge contract, so
Right. No.
everyone, cooler heads prevailed and we resolved
I'm
it.
totally kidding.
Okay.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to approve the settlement agreement and general mutual release of all claims with KRW and the town of Bayfield, and that we pay them $20,625.20 as settlement.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg?
Yes.
Trustee Zazzaro?
Yes.
Trustee Katzos?
Yes.
Trustee Moreland?
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin?
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem Hartz.
I have one thing. It's got Mayor Tom Oz' name on it. Can she sign it? Does she have to sign it?
Yeah, if the person, the trustee that signs it will say, the trustee, their name, or Mayor Pro Tem, the name for Mayor Oz, that'd be
Okay, so
great.
you don't need me to change my?
No.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yes. I think. Dustin? Oh, me. C, Stone Security Proposal.
Last year, during budget discussions, we did approve for me to go through Stone Security to do a rebuild of the entire surveillance system for this facility, along with a server. But when the flood of 2025 hit the town hall, I put this project on the back burner to make sure that we had funds set aside to cover the suppression system, the rebuild, and everything's done with that. And so I wanted to come back in front of the board to get the permission to start the build. But I had to approach Stone because with all the tariffs and all the other things that are going on with some of the product that they do utilize, They had a slight increase. The budget was approved at $40,859, and their increase was at $41,434. It's $574 increase. So I got a copy of that, and I thought something wasn't adding up right, so I reached out to them again with the one-year service agreement. The service agreement that they proposed that we accepted in the budget for $3,970 was for the entire system. That was senior center, parks, public works, the sewer and water treatment facility. So I asked them just to give us a one-year service agreement just for this facility, because that's all we're gonna be doing this year. And so it dropped from $3,970 to $2,300. And that's a savings of $1,670, but the increase on the other side was $575. So we'll be under budget by $1,095 if we
Great.
approve.
Good job.
Yeah. Thanks, Chief.
I just need you to approve so I can start the build and get it going, because phase 2 will hopefully be the senior center and the parks next year.
Madam,
Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Stones security proposal in the amount of $41,434.03.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg?
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro?
Yes.
Trustee Katzos?
Yes.
Trustee Moreland?
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin?
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem Harts.
Yes. Water restrictions.
So I did put together a memo referencing the drought management plan. We've had a really dry summer. So in the memo, it mentions that we might be at a priority. As of this morning, we're still in P4 water, which means we're not using any storage water yet. But it's something I wanted to bring to your attention. If it continues to stay dry, we might need to consider instituting some additional restrictions on some of our water. So in your drought management plan that I attached to the end of it, on page 15 in there, it has some benchmarks and some trigger marks associated with going anywhere from sustainable to serious to extreme. In the drought management plan, it would be serious drought that you would be looking at, and that'd be no impervious surfaces. On the memo, I attached table 10 that has some of those restrictions associated with it. I was talking to Dustin this morning, and what I didn't mention in there is you guys should have got a copy of this, which is Resolution 639. With implementing additional drought restrictions, there's also a rate increase associated with it.
Yes.
So, I wish there was page numbers, because I guess on the first page of the actual rates that's on there, this is listed as severe. It does raise rates some if this was instituted. So, you know, right now, for instance, your residential base rate up to $6,000 would go from $39.51 to $39.52. So I mean, it's not huge, and then $6,000 to $15,000 is where the increase comes up, like 30 cents per thousand. But I just wanted you to be aware of that as well. I guess what we're really trying to figure out is if we do drop out of priority, we end up using storage water. So currently our agreement, we have 30 acre-feet of storage water, which counts to 9,750,000 gallons. So right now our production's about 800,000 gallons a day. So the 30 acre-feet would, if we dropped out of priority, be used up in about 12 days.
Yeah.
So that's where these restrictions come in. Hopefully we can reduce some of that. We're looking at about $480 per acre foot. So at about 1 million gallons a day, just to do basic math, you're looking at your water treatment operation costs going up about $1,200 from nothing right now. So it's just something I wanted you guys to be aware of. In the drought management plan, it does say a town manager can issue the additional restrictions, but we think it's important that we're notifying the public and that you guys are aware that this could be coming. Hopefully, if it rains up high, we'll stay P4 or P5 and limp the rest of the way through. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring it up for discussion and.
So what's our current AF flow?
that's acre foot.
Right, but what is it at right now?
For how much water do we have right now?
Mm-hmm.
For priority 4, so if we're in priority,
Mm-hmm.
our acre foot flow, we don't pay for any of our water.
Mm-hmm.
We get it delivered.
Yeah.
So that's about 1.2 million what we have now, because we have 2.4 CFS of P4 water. So that's about 650,000 gallons a day. So times 2.5, so we have over like 2 million. What happens if we drop out of priority, we go into that storage water, if we burn through the 30 acre feet of storage water, any additional acre foot that we add becomes firm in perpetuity.
Yeah.
So that means we pay a higher cost for that water.
Yep.
Yeah, forever. So we just wanted to bring this to your attention and make you aware, and maybe get the temperature of the board in regards to additional restrictions or.
Would it help to do restrictions earlier? I mean, I know it's river, so, I mean, does that really help now to do restrictions?
The restrictions are basically designed to help cut production.
Right.
So it necessarily wouldn't be a cost saving as long as we didn't go into the storage water. So I don't necessarily know if we should implement them, but if we drop below P4, then that storage water is going to go pretty fast.
You know, the one thing I don't like about this is it's a reactive response. I'd like to be proactive. You know, instead of getting to that point where we're scrambling and we're now telling the townspeople, oh, your water bill is going to go up exponentially because now we're using our standby water. You know, I would rather see us declare that we are in a drought and we need townspeople to react responsibly towards our current requirements, and then know that should we cross over, you can expect your average water bill to look like this. And I think that when you look at our water bill, it doesn't really, like if you're looking at the drought management and you're trying to figure out what you pay, you know, per, it's just a flat rate, but this breaks it down into, you know, dollars. And so what would be interesting is to come up with something for a social media post that says, here's your cost, you know, per gallon, and here's what your cost per gallon would be if we crossed over into that severe drought. So to me, I feel like coming in after the fact and go, oh, we're in trouble now, folks. Now your water bill's going to go up exponentially. And, you know, we waited, doesn't make good sense to me. You know, I prefer to be proactive and be responsible about it and try to, you know, minimize the water use so we can maintain, you know, that P4 status. So, I mean, at what point do we decide it's a drought? I mean, we've been in a 25-year ongoing drought. Some years more severe, but it's ongoing, so.
Trustee Katzos, I think I sent an email to the board. The governor declared a natural disaster for Montezuma County
Yes.
and for Uray County for being in drought. And we, in our, La Plata County was in some sort of, we were mentioned in there too. So I know there has been.
We're considered D2 and they're considered D3, so
Yeah.
we are right there.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I know like that has happened.
Uh-huh.
But my question for Jeremy is, I've been watching fires since July, and if we had a fire in town and we had to use water to put out the fire from our fire hydrants, what does that mean for us? Does any of this help us since we are in drought and there are, I mean, we just saw the fire in Forest Lakes on Friday. That could happen here in town. So where does that put us? Like, because I want to be mindful of that storage water is also there for the fire department. The reason we do every other day odds and evens watering is not just for we're in drought.
Conservation.
It's for if there's a fire, we need there to be water. So if everyone waters their grass on the even day, there's not enough water to put out your house fire or whatever happens. So can you tell me a little bit how that water is also for that. So what happens, like, how does that even factor into all of this? Because I'm concerned about losing a neighborhood at some point, because that could happen with this drought. I've seen it happen.
Well, look at the front range.
Our production capacity remains the same.
Okay.
So there's no fear as far as for fire flows or anything like that. So we still have the same ability to move the same amount of raw water to the
Okay.
treatment facility and put it into distribution. This basically, when you go on your storage water, it's accounting. So once we drop out of priority, we're using a different pot of water over here, and it's charged at a different rate to the town for that. But as far as for safety, fire flow, and fire production, our production capacity remains the same.
Okay.
So there's not necessarily any threat from the additional restrictions. It's just basically what the drought management plan is outlining is some operational cost suggestions. We've already moved from the reservoir and the ditch to pumping all of our water for our cost, because we don't get dinged for the additional 10%. So we actually get to quantify all that raw water that we're moving in. So there's some operational things that are dictated in here. Like I said, we're not out of priority yet.
Okay.
And the priority is all dictated by the inflows to Vallecito. So inflows minus outflows get your priorities that are going to come down, and PRID's going to be who dictates what priority that is. Our restrictions won't increase the priority of water out of the reservoir. It's just going to slow down our production and drop our production costs, which would give us more time with, the 10 million gallons that we have infinite in storage.
So that was going to be another question of mine, because in the drought management document, it states that when the town is diverting its storage water from PRID, as electrical and operations costs to operate the pump station is significant, supply side water savings because of operating the system in this manner are estimated at approximately 15% more. So you're telling us you are using the pump station now? Okay. So how are we capturing those additional costs?
The electricity cost is
Okay.
covered. We have to pump a certain amount of water for
Yeah.
our Archuleta Water District anyway.
Uh-huh.
But that's where your tiered rates are coming in.
Yeah.
So when they factored those tiered rates, when you drop up to extreme drought or whatever, you see those rates increase. That's what Wright Water Engineers was trying to capture, is that additional production cost from having to run it full time. A lot of times what we'll do is what they call it blending. We'll use some reservoir water, some pump water, and then, it depends on the quality right now. So that's where the tiered rates, they were trying to capture that additional electricity cost from running the big pumps to offset that on the water treatment facility.
It was also intended so that the consumer would not use as much water and go with the lower prices. as
Right.
well.
We like to say
That is
operational.
one thing I think should be said, if we're going to communicate to the
Yes.
citizens that, the purpose of it is for the additional costs it's going to take us to run the waters, and to prevent you from using them like that. I mean, the whole purpose is to stop using it as much so that we don't have to go to those measures, right?
Yeah, and another thing to keep in mind as well too, there's going to be enforcement that's going to be required if we do impose additional restrictions, which will be done through Public Works. So there could be tickets, fines, and the resolution and the drought management plan had outlined some of that as well. So
I think that should also be included with alerting the public that there could be fines once we cross into that.
We would have to change how we do it, wouldn't we, to have fines?
So,
Do we have
so
fines?
Jeremy, you're saying that
sorry.
this is out of, oh, I'm
Question?
sorry, I'm sorry.
Do we
Go ahead.
have fines already set in place? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Have we charged any fines?
No, we haven't.
No, not yet.
I think we had one ticket this year, I don't remember where, but typically, the town does really good with odd even watering. We usually issue a few warnings during the beginning of the season in May. A lot of times it's new residents that come in that aren't aware of it, and everybody does a pretty good job. Just with the additional restrictions, we would be doing a little bit more strict monitoring. Right now, we typically go out and we'll do a patrol around 10 o'clock. We're looking for people still watering their yards after 9 o'clock or on odd even days, and that's about the extent of our enforcement. With something like this, we'd probably want to enforce a little more stringently. So just to be aware there's another portion of this if it doesn't act. I would like to see us not go out of priority and not have to impose the additional restrictions. But,
The early warning may help prevent us from doing that if we're not.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And all of the fines begin with a warning. So there's nobody, you're just gonna go out there and say, $100, you know. We're gonna go out and we're gonna talk to the public, and all of that will be done with public outreach and hopefully education and that manner.
So we can move into, we're in serious drought index. We can move into letting the citizens know there's additional restrictions that doesn't include a increase in your bill. Yes or no? Are these synonymous? Like you have to have that $3.59 increase in addition to being in additional restrictions? Maybe maybe these are apples and oranges and I'm not, because.
Well, the way that the resolution reads is, if we do go into the seriousness of the severe drought, that would trigger the increase in the utility rates.
Okay.
You guys have authority to adopt rates, so you could impose additional water restrictions without a rate increase. I mean, that's up to you. You have that authority. But the way that this reads, it basically says once that the severe drought is imposed, the additional restrictions, the rate increase would follow with that as well.
Well, and it says in the document that it's important for the town to officially declare a drought and adjust correspondingly to drought levels in a timely manner. If a drought is declared too late and response strategies are not taken early enough to reduce water use, the cost of the town's water supply can increase significantly, leading to economic impacts that may not be avoidable. The town manager is ultimately responsible for providing final recommendations on timing of drought declaration and corresponding stage of drought to the town council.
So if we're saving water, we're producing less water because we're saving water, but we're charging more for the water that we're not using. That's where I'm getting confused on, and I probably was one of the people who voted for this plan at some point. So if we're telling people to use less water, why do they have to pay more for less?
Because if you see, like the portion that's highlighted in here for the severe water increases, you're seeing your rates increase substantially for high usage. So for your 6,000 to 15,000 is 586. Right now it's 532. You're seeing 0 to 6,000 increase, 0.
Okay.
So if a household, a residential household is using 6,000 gallons or less, you're going to see 0 increase in that water bill over here. So the tiered rate structure is basically designed, as Trustee Moreland said, to discourage that additional water use.
But why does the base fee go up? That's what I'm not understanding. Because if I'm asked to use less water, why is my base fee, my monthly base fee in severe increasing by $3.59? Like, I understand if I'm not paying attention and I'm using a lot of water, yeah, I'm gonna pay more for that water. But why does the base fee for everyone go up? That's what I'm not.
The base fee in Resolution 639 Exhibit B right now goes from $39.51 to $39.
I see $35.93 to $39.52.
That was current right before that resolution was passed. So that was the current, and then with the resolutions, the next column.
Oh, this is not the number I'm looking. Sorry, folks, it's been a long day.
Oh, I see where you're at.
So I'm not understanding, so there's no base rate increase, there's only an increase by, maybe it's by 1 cent?
1 cent is what
Okay.
it's showing.
Yeah, unless
So-
we get in, no, that's.
Into PRID level, whatever, okay. So the consumer is not going to see an increase in their bill unless they are using more water.
A lot of water.
A lot of water. Okay, so if I use less water, I'm not paying more, is what I'm hearing. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. So my bill will not go up if I'm using less water. That's not how I was reading that chart. I was reading it as it's more.
I can see the column to the side right here, the 350.
You see what I'm looking at? Because I was like, why am I paying more? I'm like,
I did the
am I on the
same-
wrong page?
I did the same thing when I was talking to
So
Jeremy about it.
that
I'm
column
like,
with the increase is what happened when we did the initial, like, what the prices were prior to this what we came up with. There.
So as of today, my price is $39 and some odd cents. I see you want to say something.
Yes, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, members of the Board of Trustees, this is not exactly the way that everybody does it. This is a resolution that has to be kicked in. Most places that I'm familiar with have those accelerators built in regardless if there's a drought or not. If you're wasting water, you're using way above everybody else, you have a stepped increase that's higher per gallon than other folks do because of that fact. If you have a higher meter size, let's say you have a 1-inch meter versus a 5/8 inch meter, then you're using more and then you're at a higher level. That's based in the entire structure and not just dependent upon a declaration by an unelected town manager.
So we do actually have that increase that happens just when we're in P4, is that what it's called? And then it's when we go into the next level of drought where that number increase exponentially to the consumer to keep them from doing it. It's not that we don't have a graduated payment regardless of use. We do have that. It's just when you get to the more droughty, it's more costlier.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, Trustee Moreland. They put an extra step in there that you could go up to. What I'm saying is a lot of times some of your communities add it all into a single one. So it doesn't depend upon somebody to pass a drought declaration. If they're using more water above and beyond, well above and beyond what everybody else is, regardless if it's a drought or a severe drought or a baby drought or whatever the case is, it's in there for everybody to know. If you're going to use more water above and beyond what everybody else is using, you're going to pay for something that's built in to the whole rate structure, not just a declaration that accelerates it up above that. So, I'm not sure whether it's a better way or not a better way. I'm just pointing out that there are other ways that can be done. In addition, one of the things that we can do is we can have a WaterWise program put into place that's above and beyond just the odd and even watering schedules that we've got. There are a number of things that we can do as far as outreach goes to our community to talk about wise water use from the little ones that keep their shower on too long to everybody in the house. And I think that requires education, and it requires work perhaps with the school system. I have seen that work. It does work and drop it. But remember, the condition is not just dictated by how much we all use, that we have a supply issue from the Almighty up in the mountains, and that's the ultimate driver. If you look at the multiplier, that's the thing that's getting us in the most trouble right now, which means we need to seriously look at water rights holdings and look at what we have and maybe address that in some planning, some type of a planning session that we have to look forward to the future, because we are growing. We all realize there's more people, and we all want our kids maybe to come back and be here. So we want to make sure that we look at what's there. Maybe it's getting drier here in the future. We all know climate changes. That's not for, but rolling the dice and hoping next year is going to have more water, that's not a wise water planning for the future. So I think we need to sit down and look at what our needs are and talk about making priorities for acquiring additional water so that we have adequate water, whether it's for fire flows and things of that nature in the future to keep a reserve, or for just the fact that it may not rain as much above Vallecito. And I think that we look at that around the whole area, because we do have a lot of people coming, and we do have agreements for water rights converting over as they come in. These types of things, we need to take a look at that maybe and revisit it, because as I understand it, this is the first time that we're sitting here looking at this particular
no, I don't think
issue.
so. We've been here before. We have been here before.
A whole plan based off of this.
Last time I was in here for drought restrictions, it flooded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's very true. That is very,
So
very
cross
true.
your fingers.
So let's, maybe we trigger something.
Can I ask one more question for Jeremy? Okay. So I think step one is we need to be educating the public now that
Right.
we're in a drought, because I
Right.
think there's people in Bayfield who don't realize that's going on.
I'm sure that people also, most people in Bayfield have not seen
Yeah.
this rate structure.
Mhm.
So
Or they
even
saw it.
having this, yeah, or just having this remind them of
So-
what we're up against.
So yes, I think education, I don't know if we have time for a water rights program. I love that idea, but I'm thinking that we need to start getting information out. Two, what I'm hearing is if if we get out of this priority 4, then we still have the storage water we can use, and then when we are done with that, we then have to permanently raise our water rates.
Correct.
So, okay, just making sure I'm understanding all of this. So thank you for bearing with me as I talk it out. Again, it's been a very long day. So we need to educate the people. We need them to start restricting their water so they're used to it in
Even
case
more.
we get to that point, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, so by saying that out loud, I think that my part of this is let's go into restrictions, because it doesn't cost anyone anything unless you are continuing to use more water and you're not restricting. That needs to be paired with some form of education, and if that's on the social media, I don't know how we can do that, because I think going into each summer, we need to have more education with the community on this, but I understand this has been a hard year for us. We're just really glad you're here, John.
I
Thank you.
but I think if I understand our chart correctly, if we declare that we are in a severe drought, even though we're still in P4, but we're edging up against it, it goes from a base rate of $35.93 for everybody to $39.52 for
Right,
everybody.
so I thought we just clarified that it's only like 1 penny, because that is not how this is supposed to read.
You're looking, you gotta look from this one up
Yeah.
here to this one down here,
Right.
not this one over here to this one over
Yeah, yeah,
You're looking at the prior year's rates before we did this
Right.
new rate sheet.
but it is,
So that's
yeah.
that's what current means. The resolution 639 is where our rates currently are.
Mhm.
And so we're in the top bucket at P4,
Mhm.
and if we go into restrictions,
Yeah.
we'll be on,
The highlighted area,
Yeah,
which is,
gotcha.
so right now, we're paying $39.51, and
Right.
then if we go into severe, we'll be paying $39.52.
For the low tier, yeah.
for the base.
Base, yes.
Base,
So
yeah.
there's not a $3.59 increase. It is a 1 penny increase for every resident.
Correct.
And then if we go into extreme, you actually get to save a penny,
Correct.
which makes no sense, but, okay. So.
But you kick in the 0 to 6,000, there's an additional
Yeah,
fee.
yes, okay. So this doesn't cost anyone anything except for a penny.
Right. Yeah,
And everyone will learn more about restrictions, and we will be prepared if PRID needs to take us out of priority 4, so that we're already using lower amounts of water, of the storage water. And then, if that doesn't work, then everyone pays more. So this is the opportunity for everyone in the town to pay the same, minus paying 1 penny more per month, and learning how to be more restrictive in their water to help us. So this is proactive, because PRID
Right.
hasn't gotten us there yet.
right, right.
Okay, okay.
I'd like to clarify something. When I was on the fire department, they were worried about the water that they use. When we had a fire in town, we had big pools that we hauled water to and used and draw from there. And we draw from the ditches and we drew from other things. Because sometimes you don't have enough pressure in these hydrants.
Correct.
And so, like the one at Forest Lakes, they hauled it from the lakes, from
Yes.
the ditches, and then where the water was hauled. So they're not taking everything from the town. They're taking it from the natural resources that are out there.
Oh, no, totally true, but if the fire's bad enough and we have enough pressure, we're gonna use the closest hydrant, and that's why Jeremy would be involved in it. Yeah, they'll be pulling it from many different places, but, yeah.
They haul it from everybody.
Yeah.
They don't rely on one source.
Nope, no, I understand that, thank you.
So when we do the communication, can we make sure that we're only including the resolution 639 line,
Yes,
please?
yes, yeah.
And are we only doing communication on social media? Or are we, or are we doing it according to here with the bill stuffers and publishing information on the town website?
Both.
Should be
We're
Good
Should be
call.
all of them.
Trustee Hartz.
tomorrow, so the
Yeah.
bills will be going out shortly.
Mhm.
And we can put something out on public media, but just to be clear, you're talking about imposing the additional restrictions that were on table 10 on the back side of the menu. So that would be no impervious watering, cleaning your driveways, car washing, things like that. People are still able to hand water plants and shrubs.
And are we going to serious or are we going to extreme?
Serious.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, thank you.
And that's what the drought management plan recommends.
Yes.
So with the priority that we're at now, it recommends going to the serious restrictions. And then there's other trigger points down to page 16, I believe, in the drought management plan that outlines some additional restrictions for the extreme. It's basically nothing.
And Jeremy, were you mentioning, so this is just one part, when we were talking about the enforcement, do we have the capability, the staff to do this enforcement, which starts with warnings?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll repurpose. We just have to do some scheduling.
Okay.
And it'll be done through public works. Bayfield's a little bit complicated because there's a lot of subdivisions that have irrigation lines. So it's not like you can just go out and drive around if you don't understand where that water's coming from. So, you know, Meadow Circle over here, they have irrigation water. They're sprinkling whatever they want. We're just talking about these restrictions for public. So you kind of got to know the neighborhood to show it. We can just do some rescheduling.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry this conversation went so long.
No, it needed clarification.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, just one other item. When you get into enforcement, the public is going to be very acutely aware that they're being curtailed. They're going to be watching us as well. We need to make sure that, particularly with the parks that are watered with our municipal system, not all of them are, but the ones that are, we have to cut back as well.
I was going to ask about that, like all the water that we use for the parks, that's all irrigation water?
Yep.
We don't cut that back at all?
Joe Stevenson is the only park that uses irrigation water.
Okay.
So we follow PRED in the state guidelines on that. So it's not treated water. We can water during the day. But all of our other parks are on municipal water, so we follow the same restrictions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need a motion?
Is direction enough?
I think that the motion is appropriate, motion based upon some sort of basis for whatever position the board's taking.
So I have one more question for the motion. When I'm looking at Exhibit A here, when we were talking about severe drought, have we met the requirements to be in a severe drought per the resolutions Exhibit A?
It's serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, mine says severe.
Oh,
It says serious on Exhibit A, it says severe on Exhibit B.
Yeah, the drought management plan refers to it as serious, and this exhibit resolution 9 refers to it as severe.
Okay.
So it's just a misspelling. It
Okay.
didn't translate between the two documents.
Okay.
Yes, we know.
We made the okay.
For the severe or the serious drought.
Okay.
Are you doing the motion?
I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Sorry, that's why I'm like reading this. Do you know what you want to say?
I can do it if you want. Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion for the town of Bayfield to go into severe or serious level of water supplies due to a drought, and we do qualify under the measured inflow into Bayfield Reservoir between January and June. Also included in that we would let town's citizens know via social media as well as through statement stuffers or that's mail outs, that sort of thing.
Following the plan in Table 10.
Following the plan in Table 10.
do we need to also include the violation piece? Or no?
No, I
Okay.
think we're.
Great, okay.
And I think that is a great question with regards to the implementation. So the timing and the implementation is to be immediate upon the adoption of this resolution?
Yes. Well, the timing be immediate upon the adoption of this resolution.
I'll second.
You got that,
I have a
Dustin?
motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg?
Yes.
Trustee Zazzaro?
Yes.
Trustee Katsas?
Yes.
Trustee Moreland?
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin?
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem Harts.
Yes. Resolution 651, bank signatory add or remove, add and remove.
Okay, so these next two, we have a new town manager. He's not new anymore. He's been drinking from the fire hose. So as much as Jeremy likes signing checks, we're going to remove Public Works Director Scholes off that and add town manager John Waters.
Do we need two separate motions?
They are two separate resolutions. Yeah.
I hate not having my other copy. Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 651.
I will second that.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg?
Yes.
Trustee Zazzaro?
Yes.
Trustee Katsas?
Yes.
Trustee Moreland?
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin?
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem Harts.
Yes. Resolution 652.
Same situation, just.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 652.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg?
Yes.
Trustee Zazzaro?
Yes.
Trustee Katsas?
Yes.
Trustee Moreland?
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin?
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem Harts.
Yes. Ordinance 501, sales tax.
509.
509, I'm sorry.
So you have a hard copy draft in front of you. I believe that is the fourth iteration of Ordinance 509. There is a lot of Tabor language in the ordinances, as I discovered going through this. So that's the most current with legal review revisions made that you have in front of you. And every ordinance partners with a resolution. I've learned on this, the ordinance basically sets town code, does the disbursement of the funds, where the resolution adopts the ballot language.
I did have one question because I noticed from A through F, it doesn't mention really the well, actually it does, never mind, take it back. I don't have a question.
Now, as I understand it, ordinance 509 and 510 emanate from a study session that this board conducted. And I wasn't part of it, but I understand Dustin was a part of it. He has worked with the direction that this board gave him with regards to these two ordinances. And again, these are ordinances concerning putting issues to a vote in November concerning sales tax and lodger's tax. That's what's going on here. And again, this board gave that direction, and that's why you have these ordinances and these resolutions before you.
Yeah, I don't feel like I had any issue with ordinance 509. I feel like it tightened things up and made it clear, so.
And we did add a few things with the direction of Town Manager Waters in to that as well.
Would that also be that 50% for Joe Stevenson Park amenities, the breakdown? Was
Yeah,
that added?
we tweaked that a
Yeah,
little bit
yeah,
at
I
our
think that's
last
good.
leadership team meeting. Gives a little more flexibility to
Yep.
some of that disbursement.
More clarity.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was Mr. Waters' touch.
Yeah, me too. I don't have any. I've looked these over so many times.
Oh, you tell
And I
me.
feel like this is the winner, so.
Nice job, Dustin.
Well, I got a lot of help from Michael too. So.
Madam Madam Mayor, I can't say that tonight. I just I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 509.
And I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg,
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro,
Yes.
Trustee Katzos.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Harts.
No. Resolution number 649, sales tax. That goes along with that. Do we need another motion? Yes.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, unless there's any discussion, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 649.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg,
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
Trustee Katzos.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland,
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Harts.
No. Ordinance number 510, lodgers tax.
Again, I feel like this is what we discussed at our
Yeah,
meeting, and it looks good to me.
it's cleaned up.
I think it's good.
Yep. I did have one question, and I've just never heard it called this before. It's called a motor hotel? What's a motor hotel? Do we know what that is? It's listed in here, and I've never heard of
Really,
them.
I'm a child of the 70s, and there were motor hotels all along.
Well, that was a refabbed school bus. I've been on one of those.
Now they're very nostalgic.
Yeah.
And you head out towards Cortez or Route 66.
Yeah.
And they're refurbishing these. So
Okay.
it is an item.
Okay, all right. I was just like, I've never heard it described as a motor hotel.
I think
so-
there's one in Monte Vista too. New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Or Del Norte.
Okay, I just had that question, but other than that, I'm good with this ordinance.
And I think it's just good to reiterate that this tax is currently being collected
Yes.
by La Plata County, so this isn't a new tax. This is just now the town of Bayfield will actually be able to get the money that La Plata County is getting. Because I don't know how many more times we'll be able to say that after.
Well, and actually,
Need others to say it for us.
Yeah.
at the Economic Alliance, La Plata County's lodger tax for 33 projects thus far this year has pulled in $512,000. And
Won't do that much, though.
But a portion of that money,
They
a
have
portion,
ordered hotels.
well, no, but a portion of that money is from our town. So that's the point that I'm making,
Yeah.
that they're getting that money, but a portion of that, what is it currently, 4%? Comes out of our town to La Plata County. So we're just bringing it back home,
Yep.
and it's just our lodgers who pay for it.
How does that work? Do we get something from the county saying that they're going to give us this money now?
We passed this, and that says they're giving us, this says you will give us our money.
It
doesn't-
comes to us from
yeah.
that point forward. In other words,
Through,
the business owners would have to pay it.
I have 12 days once these are signed to turn them
Yes.
in
Yeah.
CDOR.
In the absence of having a lodger's tax, it just goes to the county. Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 510.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg,
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
Trustee Katzos.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Harts.
Yes. Resolution 650.
Since it goes with.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 650.
And I'll second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nyberg,
Yes.
Trustee Cesaro.
Yes.
Trustee Katzos.
Yes.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes.
Trustee McLaurin,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Harts.
Yes. Trustee reports. Mayor Oz not here. I do not have anything. Trustee Katzos.
Okay, I went to the Economic Alliance meeting on Tuesday, the 12th. Senator Bennett has a new Southwest rep. His name is Wyatt Blair. He's a native of La Plata County. He informed us that the $3.3 trillion federal budget cuts are going to affect over 100,000 Colorado residents who will lose Medicaid. healthcare. Senator Bennett has held 27 town meetings this year, more than any other Colorado representative, and he welcomes La Plata residents to contact him with any questions. La Plata County will be hosting the 2030 World Champion Mountain Bike Competition, and they anticipate a huge turnout and also lodging to capacity. He suggested that hospitality providers prepare. The Catalyst Fund increased their money from $75K to $100K, and they are taking applications through mid-September. The fund will, in November, have provided over $1.2 million for housing starts, which is totaled 560 units. Michelle Abrams, director of our local USDA, spoke and stated that they give anywhere from $10 to $15 million a year to support local ag business in Southwest Colorado. They still have money to disperse as needed. She's happy to discuss any needs with any of our ag businesses that might need some support. There will be no September monthly meeting for the Economic Alliance because they're hosting the annual summit, which will be held September 11th at the Sky Ute Casino, and they will host some incredible speakers. They had one of them speak at the meeting. Tickets are still available on the website. Anybody's welcome to attend if you can get a ticket. And then along with this, John, our town manager, will be taking over my liaison roles for both Region 9 and the Economic Alliance. Due to his incredibly strong background in economic development, he is probably better suited to attend these meetings to gather pertinent information and resources for our community. And I'd like to know when we're going to start our budget work sessions. I feel like we need to be doing that ASAP.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem, Trustee Katsos, I'm currently reviewing the budget process. I have one rather large item that I'm looking at right now that involves some additional discovery. I'm going to be looking for commitment on certain revenue sources, and that has to be looked at before I'm ready to proceed. I think this next upcoming week I'll have a lot more information to provide at that point. It is significant, so it would affect where we're going with some of our capital projects and possibly into the operations. So I need to make sure I understand how secure this particular revenue source is before I proceed.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm just very concerned with the cutbacks from the Fed, state, and county. So I feel like we're going to have to do some creative discussions around that. Yeah, that's all I've got.
Trustee McLaurin.
Well, I wanted to take a few minutes to tell you about what's going on with Pine River Shares Community Farm Project, which is out just behind the Swag in Gem Village. They've got all kinds of stuff going. They're providing produce to various different food distribution places. They do it here in Bayfield, Arborles, Viaceto. They go to the senior center and take produce every week for people to pick up. And it looks great out there. You all should come out and check it out and see what's going on there. They've got everything. They don't have much out in the fields. I think they might have some potatoes, but most everything is in their low tunnels and some in the high tunnels. But it's just going great. And they're really producing quite a bit of food for the people in the community and the county. So check it out. Come see us.
Trustee Moreland.
Yes, so one thing that Kat didn't cover is that because we've been sharing the duties of going to the Economic Development Alliance, is that we're getting ready to have our board retreat. I actually serve on the board piece. She attends the meeting, so we'll be coming up with some plans for 2026 once that happens, and I'll have a lot more information from that once we've done it. Additionally, the Regional Housing Alliance, we have an interim executive director. She's contracted through the end of December with us, and we're also going to be putting together our board retreat for that as well. If they haven't already, John, hopefully you can attend that one. Not much else at that point is going on. The Catalyst Fund is actually associated with the Regional Housing Alliance, not with the Economic Development Alliance, just so you're aware. It goes under the hat of that. And the Regional Housing Alliance decided to go from the $75,000 to the $100,000 on the Catalyst Fund grant because there has not been as much interest in those funds. And the costs to do some of these things are exponentially going up. So we felt that, we have the funds, we want to make sure that they get utilized, because if they don't, they just go away. And we don't want that to happen. We want people to use them, and so that was part of the reason that they increased. I would like us to look into an issue with mosquitoes in Dove Ranch. I'm not sure why we're having such an issue, because I don't think there's really any standing water out there, but I've seen several neighbors make mention on social media the problem with the mosquitoes in that area, and I've also experienced it myself as well. So if we can ask our mosquito company if they're, when they plan to go into that area, maybe they can go sooner.
They can
You
hit
think
City
it's
Hall
how
too.
dry it is, we wouldn't
Yeah.
have swarms of mosquitoes, but
So
you walk
are-
out my front door and it's like this, and it's not those little gnats either. It's straight up mosquitoes with,
I think it's
Mark.
very close proximity to the irrigation
Yes.
ditch is probably the.
Yes.
But from what they said last time, they treat those areas, but
I've never seen them.
I've never seen them either.
I've never seen them, so maybe we need to be a little bit
Right.
more aggressive in saying treat them.
They're supposed to be fogging, and they're supposed to be applicating something near the ditch water to
Yes.
prevent them from making more mosquitoes. I don't know, I'm not a pest.
It's something, it's a piece of a chrysanthemum.
To prevent the larvae, I think, from hatching is what they said last time.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem and Trustee Moreland, I think that the problem is citywide, because the
Yeah.
football team was out jumping around, slapping their legs the other day, and my son came back and goes, "This is as bad as a desert." And the other day, we were sitting in one of our directors' meetings, and a couple of us got nailed by a mosquito that was in there. I actually saw them. They're green. They're about this big. They're very hungry,
And
so.
we have had instances of West Nile in Bayfield, so whatever we can do to be a little more proactive on that, I think is important. And talking to them about it. I just don't know if they've come out recently, what their schedule is, but it needs to happen.
Agreed. There's been an instance in La Plata County. I can't say where, but there has been, and we have had a couple deaths due to West Nile in Colorado already this year.
So with the Economic Alliance, Trustee Katzo just attends the meeting.
Correct.
You are a board
I'm a
member.
board member.
Will it be beneficial to Bayfield to look at giving John Waters
I would like
the,
to continue to be a board member, thank you.
and he'll just be an attendee?
Yeah.
Okay. Trustee Nyberg.
Southwest TPR is not until October, and there was no planning commission meeting.
Trustee Cesaro.
So, the next Upper Pine Board meeting is actually this Thursday. They have continued discussion about Station 1, and they're also going to be discussing their resolution for their 1% sales tax increase. On Thursday, I'm also attending the Regional Recovery Symposium. So some of you know about the fire that was in Forest Lakes. If this went the wrong way and we had to talk about recovery from a fire, the folks in the region are getting together to discuss what that looks like, and how we would plan and whose roles and responsibilities. There are local, there are regional, there are tribal, there's lots of roles in the recovery process. So I will be attending that as part of my emergency preparedness liaison and my day job. So I'll report back on that at our next meeting.
Upcoming dates, our next meeting is September 2nd. Town Hall Labor Day closure. The town hall is closed on Labor Day. And the Planning Commission will meet August 26th. And with that, we are adjourned at 8:36.
September 28th, 27th,
8:26.
Start
8:26.
adding the economic summit onto our days of interest for next time.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The ones that you, the dates that you're giving in your.
Yeah, so the upcoming dates of interest include the economic summit.
There's one downstairs here.
That's a good idea.
Take care. Yeah, thanks for everything.
When was it, Brenna, again?
See you next time.
Yes.
We need these resolutions, but
I'm not taking them with me. Why not? I don't care.
Get something out the board.
I was finally able to get into my email, but I had to log into, I couldn't be in Google, I had to be in Edge.
Yeah. It's easier in Edge because it's an Edge product.
Well, I've never used
Or it's a
Edge. Maybe
Microsoft
I need
product
to
in
switch
Edge,
to it,
yeah.
But at work, everything we do is in Google.
Yes,
So I
yeah.
just use Google.
Yep.